Now at noon, the Pinpoint Weather Team is busy tracking Hurricane Irene. Right now, Irene is a powerful Category 3 storm that's moving across the Bahamas, and it's taking aim at the east coast of the United States.
This is video just in from the Bahamas showing the heavy rains and winds ripping through the island chain early this morning. There are reports of major damage to the southern islands today, but so far no reports of deaths or serious injuries.
Meanwhile, officials in North Carolina have ordered everyone on the Outer Banks and the neighboring county to evacuate by tomorrow. Irene is forecast to graze the state on Saturday, and from there it could threaten New England.
We have live Pinpoint Weather Team coverage this noontime. Sean Daly and Walt Buteau are standing by live for us, but first we want to get right to meteorologist Pete Mangione for the very latest on Irene's track. Pete?
Danielle and Patrick, some updated information coming in from the National Hurricane Center. Let's take you right to that. There has been a slight change to the west in the track of the hurricane as it approaches New England. This does not have big differences in what we're expecting. So New England is still in the path of this hurricane. We'll talk more about the details of exactly how that slight shift in path will affect the potential effects here locally. And again, the big threat will be coastal flooding. We could also see some flooding from plain old rain and wind damage, but we'll get into all that shortly. Here's the path right now. You can see it's a strong Category 3 hurricane, winds of 115 miles an hour. She may strengthen a little bit here over the next 24 hours, but right now the official forecast keeps her a strong Category 3 hurricane. She then bends up to the north and then to the north and east, and you can see right there that slight shift in track to the west brings Irene over portions of the Virginia coast, potentially Delaware and Maryland, before taking aim at New England. Now, right now, the center of the storm, according to the official track, which we can't take too literally, is right around New York City, the western part of Long Island. But of course, any little shift in track could dramatically change things around here. So we'll talk about the potential of coastal flooding, rain flooding, and also some wind damage potential. That's all coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Pete. With an Irene landfall possible here in New England this weekend, emergency officials across the state are not taking any chances, and they're also urging everyone to prepare, but don't panic. Our Pinpoint Weather Team coverage continues now with Eyewitness News reporter Sean Daly, live from the EMA headquarters in Cranston. Sean.
Patrick, the sun is out, the air is dry, and it's not very windy yet, but make no mistake, officials here at the headquarters of the Rhode Island Emergency Management Agency in Cranston, for these people, the countdown to Hurricane Irene is on. State leaders at the Rhode Island Emergency Management Agency gathering this morning as they continue planning for the worst and hoping for the best. Retired Air Force Colonel Edward Johnson is REMA's acting executive director.
We're taking this storm very seriously. Right now it's advertised as a Category 2, potential Category 2, with a direct hit on Rhode Island. And that has about a 200-mile variability rate, but we're taking worst case scenario. We don't want folks to panic, but because of the unpredictability of these storms, it would be too late to make the decisions we need to make if we waited till we had the exact information, and that usually doesn't happen until approximately 18 hours prior to landfall, and at that point we really need to have everything done. We recommend at least 3 days of supplies, medicine, cash, bring things out of the yard, but we want you to take care of each other. We're obviously talking to all the state agencies. We're working together to determine if and when we need to do evacuations. We want to make sure that the public starts to prepare themselves.
Does it help, Colonel, that this is expected to hit in the vicinity of Sunday? That it's not a work day?
Obviously, we don't have to worry about folks on the road, the commute for workers. I know we're coming up on the beginning of school, and we are talking with school superintendents. They may have to delay the schools for a few days, that depending on what the aftermath is.
You saw the footage in that piece there. That was from the epic flooding in the spring of 2010, and Colonel Johnson thinks that is a very important element in all of this, that served as a wake-up call that when these storms hit, they hit quickly, and by then it's too late to prepare. Start preparing now. Live at EMA headquarters in Cranston with the West Bay Mobile Newsroom, Sean Daly, Eyewitness News.